Before I get into my sermon this morning, I want to say a word of thanks to everyone who has participated over the last 6 weeks in our Jesus on Trial series. I know I had lots of good comments from everyone, and I hope that you enjoyed it and it inspired you as much as it did each and every one of us who were a part of it. Now, what you need to understand is those aren't the kind of things that happen overnight. Believe it or not, the idea started last April, and what you saw unfold was simply the outcome of an awful lot of people spending an awful lot of hours on all of those intervening months trying to put the whole thing together. So, again, I want to just offer a word of thanks to everybody. And Doug, our news anchor, and Monica, and everybody who was part of the dramas each and every week, and most of all, each and every one of you for your participation each week in that series. As we gather this morning, I want you to think about this for a moment. Tombstones are reminders of what was and what could have been. Tombstones are reminders of what was and what could have been. Because when you look at a graveyard, you begin to realize that all the hopes and dreams of a life are left entombed behind a stone that no one is able to move. And that's how it was until the first Easter. Until the stone was rolled away to reveal that Jesus was alive. And the stone that is rolled away means that Jesus transforms the ultimate symbol of hopelessness into a symbol of hope and symbol of promise. And just as Jesus changed the ultimate symbol of cruelty, the cross, into a symbol which reminds us of God's love and God's forgiveness. Did you see the cross when you came in this morning? That it was put together by the kids and everybody who was here for the sunrise service. Isn't that a beautiful reminder that from such cruelty comes such a wonderful message of how much God loves us and the fact that God forgives us? Well, I want you to think for a moment this morning and begin to picture in your mind the stone that has been placed over the hopes and dreams of your life. Think about the stone that has been placed over the hopes and dreams of your life, over the what was and what could have been. That stone could be just about anything that you think will never be or could never be again. Now, as you think about that stone that is keeping you away from all of those hopes and dreams, now I want you to picture the stone that is rolled away from Jesus' tomb when we see up here this morning as God's proof that in Jesus Christ, no hope or dream is ever dead and gone. Do you believe that this morning? That because the stone is rolled away from Jesus' tomb, that there is no hope or dream that is ever dead and gone. Are you awake this morning? Do you believe that?
Yes.
Okay. The stone that is rolled away is our assurance that what was can be renewed and that what could have been becomes possible through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. You know, over the last several weeks, we've followed the Apostle Peter. He's gone from someone who struggled in choosing to stand for Jesus and then ultimately denying Jesus. Now, think about it, back to that first Easter. It is the third day following Jesus' crucifixion. Peter is probably thinking the same thing that the women were thinking as they were on their way to the tomb. The women were going to prepare Jesus' body something that hadn't been able to be done because it was the Sabbath, or because it was the Passover and the Sabbath when he was placed in the tomb. As they're coming to spread spices and perfume on the body that is decaying in the tomb, they suddenly remember the stone. And they look at each other and they say to one another, "Who will roll away the stone?" You know, when all we expect to see is a stone, that's all we're going to find. When all we expect to see is a stone, that is all we're going to find. And that is undoubtedly what Peter expected. A stone to seal in all of his hopes and dreams, all of his what was and what could have been. Because you see, for Peter, he believed that his fate was sealed when he denied Jesus. And as far as Peter was concerned, nothing could move the stone. Nothing could move the stone out of the way. Nothing would be able to restore the hopes and dreams that were sealed away in that tomb with Jesus. And then came the women running back to where the disciples were gathered, and they brought news that said, "He is alive." Up too early this morning, that's what it was. He's alive! And what did they say? The stone has been rolled away. The stone has been rolled away. And for some reason, probably because he was the one who had the most to gain, Peter, as he sits there and says, "Can I really believe that it happened?" He suddenly jumps up, and along with John, they go running to the tomb.